Hello duelists, Russ Merrill here, and today we're going to be opening a box of deck build pack Secret Slayers. Honestly, I think all of the 3 new archetypes introduced in this set are very interesting. Unfortunately, I've had a super long day at work today, so I don't really have any much energy to hype, so excuse me, but please don't expect the same energy reactions as always, but today I just feel like talking about cards. So first up, we've got a new card from the Adamatia archetype. This is Adamatia Christia Doragite. So I'm gonna separate the cards according to archetype. The main one featured in this set would be Adamatia, so I'll put it on the left here. Wow! Upstart Goblin, had to quickly Google the English name for that one. It's been a while. And here we have our first card for Rika, or the Snowflower archetype. Now the interesting thing here is that for those of you guys who know some Japanese or Chinese, Snowflower is actually written as with the characters for 6 flower, and that's because in Japanese, one of the ways or the phrases used to actually say snow is using the characters 6 flower, because when you zoom in close enough, many snow crystals, like the little, when you zoom in, it just kind of looks like a hexagon, and that's the main reasoning for why that's the case. Now I'm going to put Snowflower on the right because the one I'm really going for is Eldritch in this set, which is why I'm going to focus on the middle, and Adamatia Trap, we're going to put that there, and Rose Agent, you can just leave that aside. It's our parallel rare, so nothing too interesting in our very first pack. Let's see what we get in the next one. Galaxy Cyclone, a nice reprint, always nice getting more of these utility cards. Here we have another Snowflower card, Hereboros. This one is a hand trap, I believe, for negation of spell trap activation. Sorry about the constant defocusing. Here we have an Adamatia, another trap, and Lone Flower Blossom, nice. This is a plant, so it probably goes well with the Snowflower archetype, which is full plants. Here we have another Adamatia Christia, this time Reptiles. So there are 3 key attributes in Adamatia: the blue dragon, the red tiger, if you want to call it that, and the green raptor, or like a falcon, something like that. So there are 3 cards like, whoops, sorry about that. Here we have the Adamatia Seeker, I believe, and Seeker represents fire. So he's associated with the red Krista and the red beast that comes out of that. We'll talk more about that later. Here we have Hitohira of Snowflower. Here we have another Adamatia Trap, and here is Titanial, a plant support card, and our first super rare is going to be the Cursed Eldland. Very nice. This is going to be a key field spell for the Eldritch archetype, which features the boss, the Golden Lord Eldritch over here. Yes, with Eldland, by paying 800 life points, you are able to search out either your Eldritch boss monster or a Golden Land spell or trap card, which are basically the zombie traps that can be summoned as monsters. Next up, we have Adamatia Analyzer, and this is the one. Although he's green haired, he's associated with the blue dragon, so kind of like the strongest, although you don't have to consider it that either. Here we have the 6 flower Prim. Here's another Snowflower Trap, Unizombie, support for zombies, and parallel for Upstart Goblin. So the Adamatias, the main monsters, the humans at least, their ability, they're kind of like archaeologists, where during the main phase they are allowed to excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and if there is a non-tuner rock monster from among them, you can special summon it. And since these rocks are non-tuners, they are level 4, paired with the level 4 tuners, you can tune them together, synchro summon the Adamatia synchro monsters at level 8. Here is Leo Knight. So now we've got all 3 pieces actually of the Adamatia crystals. Here we have the Elixir of White Fate. This is going to be one of the elixirs for Eldritch. The elixirs essentially allow you to special summon a zombie monster from your hand. Plus, for this one, I think it's hand or graveyard. The other one, which I'm assuming is a foil, is hand or deck. But if you do not have an Eldritch monster on your field, which is the boss, you can only use this effect to special summon Eldritch. But once you have Eldritch, you can use this effect to special summon any zombie, not just from the archetype, and that's why I say I think Eldritch, although it's an archetype on itself, it's really designed to pair with other previous zombies, because there's only one main deck monster, which is the boss provided in this archetype. The rest are all in the form of traps. Here we have a Snowflower Trap, Unizombie, and our next parallel rare is another Snowflower Shiklan. Their names are all flowers, I believe, but as I'm not too familiar with flowers, I can't really tell you all about that. Let's move on to the next pack. Wow, we are like, okay, we're about like one third through or slightly past 1/3, and here we have yes, the Eldritch of Black Resolve. This is the counterpart to White Fate. This one allows you to special summon from hand or deck another Cyclan. Here is Guardian of the Golden Land. So this is one of the first Golden Land zombie beasts, which are traps which can be special summoned as monsters that belong to the Eldritch archetype. Essentially, once you get these guys out and then they go into the grave, you can banish them from the grave in order to retrieve the elixirs, and then you use the elixirs to bring back your boss Eldritch, and then once the elixirs are in the grave, they can be banished to set the minions over here, like these ones, the traps, directly from your deck. So it's like an endless loop in that sense. So on a whole, very apt for a zombie type deck. And next we have another one of this plant support, and our next super rare is going to be one for Snowflower. So we've got one super rare for Snowflower and one for Eldritch so far. So I realize I haven't really talked about Snowflower that much yet. Okay, Snowflower is interesting because it is a tribute focused deck. So in that sense, it makes use of tributing its own cards and benefiting off tributing as well as being tributed. So for example, you have one card that tributes another to activate an effect, then that other card, when it gets tributed, it activates another effect in response for a double benefit. And also the boss card, which I believe is Teardrop, if I'm not wrong, Snowflower Saint Teardrop. She's an Xyz monster. It's an Xyz deck. It's basically an Xyz deck, and the ace of the deck's ability is that whenever a card is tributed, she gains a power boost that lasts until the end of the turn. She can also detach Xyz materials to tribute your opponent's monsters, which, this is another one of this one is Wakero of the Golden Land, another one of the minions. She can tribute your opponent's monsters, which, as we know from Soul Exchange, is one of the more powerful kinds of removal because there's no real counter against it. Unlike destruction and banishing, just like sending to the grave, it's one of the ones with less resistance too, because it's such a rare form of removal. Here we have Adamatia Reputite. It's just a field spell for Adamatia. I believe this is another one of the level 1. Quite a key card. Here's an Eldritch Trap reprints, and our next double rare is going to be not the boss monster of Snowflower, but the lower ranked one, rank 6, Snowflower Saints Kanzashi. So we're just gonna put this down over here. Okay, nice. Kanzashi basically lets you play a sort of like a monster reborn every time a monster is tributed, but even if it's your opponent's monster, when it comes to your field, its effect is its effect is negated, and it's also considered a plant type. Solemn, nice reprint. And the important part of it being a plant type is that I believe some of the Solemn cards, the Snowflower cards, they can't activate unless you only have plants on your field. So that's why, even though you're gaining possession of one of your opponent's monsters with that monster reborn, it's important to change it to a plant type. And its second effect is kind of like a protection. When one of your, I think, Snowflowers would be destroyed by an effect, you can basically tribute another one of your Snowflowers instead, something along those lines. So that obviously is oh wow, this box really wants us to play Snowflower. This is a Snowflower Fairy Snowdrop. So this is a level 8, one of the 2 ingredients that you'll want in order to form the rank 8 boss. The other one is not a foil, and I think we already pulled it. And actually, it's quite interesting to note that the rank 8 boss, oh wait, if this is Snowdrop, then the rank 8 boss should be Teardrop. Teardrop's actually, she's like in a white and black dress, so it's like a fusion of Snowdrop and the other black dress level 8. So more Eldritch, more Snowflower, Rose, and Adamatia. So on a whole, I just find, all three archetypes introduced in this set are pretty interesting overall, and they're all stuff like I wouldn't mind trying out playing. Okay, wow, we are really getting a lot of the crystals for Adamatia. Start Goblin. There's this like Adamatia. Oh, okay. No energy to hype, I mentioned, but oh my god, just seeing this guy pop out is just making me so excited. Here we have the Lord of the Golden Land, or the Golden Lord, Eldritch. enchant. Yes, nice. Now, Eldritch is fantastic as a card. Now we're just gonna put it over here with center stage. So what can Eldritch do? You can send him from your hand along with a spell or trap from your hand to the grave, and then send one card on your opponent's field to the grave. So again, nice removal by sending. And then while he's in the grave, you can basically send one of your spell or traps on the field to the grave to retrieve him back to the hand. The moment after you do this, you're allowed to special summon a zombie from your hand, which can be Eldritch. It'll gain power +1. It'll gain attack and defense +1k each until the end of the turn, and cannot be destroyed by effects until the end of the turn as well, I believe. And so by doing this, it just makes it very easy to just pull Eldritch out whenever you want, because if you use its first effect by sending it to the grave, depending on the spell or trap that you send to the grave, if it's either one of either the minions or the Eldlitzers, it's still gonna be a part of a chain which you can set up in order to retrieve Eldritch again. And looks like, wow, okay, other than Eldritch, this deck seriously wants us to play Snowflower and totally not Adamatia at all. So stacking our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foils like this, these are the cards that we got in this set, and that'll be all for this Secret Slayers booster box opening. You guys know the drill. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a like. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG booster box and product openings on the day of release. Our next release is actually pretty epic. On 20th March, we are getting Structure Deck The Sacred Beast of Chaos, which will feature the return of Raviel, Uria, and Hamon all the way back from the GX generation back into the card game with some new support. So that's pretty intense. Hope to see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. Shh.
Our chance encounter brought color deep into my life. I will shelter you, protect